Welcome to this episode of YouTube where we are preparing for medical exams here, and the pups will be neutered per Wolf Center protocol on Monday, and Aiden, Denali, and Bolts will also receive veterinary exams per our USDA licensing and protocol. The wolves need a medical exam at the least every 3 years, and so they're all due for a medical exam, and that will do an overall assessment of their health. We do a complete blood panel. We test their rabies titers, their parvo levels, that kind of thing. So it's a common part of our medical protocol. So in order to do that, we need to assess the attitudes of the wolves prior to the immobilization. How are things going? Who's interacting with who? Is there any tension? As you can imagine, rank order is very, very important. So Aiden will be drugged first and have his exam, while Bolts and Denali are in the far back habitat. So Luna and Grizzer are going to go to the east side, and they're going to get locked off there. Bolts and Denali are going to move out of the way. The pups will go into the Wolf Care Center, and that way nobody sees Aiden being immobilized, and that's really critical for the pack leader. And the other thing, obviously, is we've got to watch for food caches. Luna has food caches. If you've ever taken your dog to the vet and had a major immobilization, they always say no food after midnight. That is a challenge in an 1.25-acre enclosure, and you can see here Luna's living with her deer hide, and then if you look closely in the den, there's a beaver in there. So we had a major pen clearing thanks to the Vermilion Community College students who volunteered their time to come and help us pick hides and things out of the enclosure. One thing nice about our enclosure design is that we can move individual groups of wolves around, so we can maintain the exhibit without having wolves in there. So we moved Luna and Grizzer to the back habitat. We ran the pack through the pack holding area back to the east side, and this is the first time ever we had 5 wolves on top of the east side den. So they had some enjoyment in the pond that has not thawed yet on the east side. They picked up all of Luna's caches, which is much to the demise of Luna when she went back in, but it definitely gave us the freedom to do work with a crew and be able to have more people get work done and less stress to the wolves overall. They were only off the exhibit for about an hour and got everything done. There's a lot of beds here. Grizzer, because of his leg, he has a very thick bed. We have to look at every bed to make sure that it doesn't have something hiding underneath. So just want to give a little update on Grizzer. Like I said, we did separate him for a while, had some anti-inflammatories, trying to figure out his issues. He's doing an RLU, raised leg urination here, putting weight on that right leg, so it is kind of improving. We're going to do a medical exam on Grizzer and Luna, but it'll probably be a little bit later once we get the pack done, and we need a little bit more diagnostic work. So always when we do a medical exam, we do ear checks. You know, the winter time, you can have mites that might cause an issue, etc. So we're always kind of looking for that. Getting ready also for the Working for Wolves program. Luna's helping with the tree branch there. But these are the Vermilion students that came in. We had 1 hour that we said we would put the pack into holding, and we would give them an opportunity to just not be too stressed out by it. So the students worked diligently, and in that 1 hour time frame got most of the cover hay out of the enclosure, did a complete enclosure check to be able to get rid of debris, and got that ready. The other thing that we have to get ready is just to make sure that the Wolf Care Center, which is our recovery enclosure, is comfortable for everybody. So Grizzer likes coming in. He has no problem coming in. The pups come in readily. Pups get weighed on a frequent basis, so they're kind of in and out. But Luna had a little bit of a negative situation with the Wolf Care Center, and so she's been having a little bit of a hard time. And what ended up happening is originally the contractors put in what's called a double relay switch on the thermostat for the heater, and which is just a noisy operation. There's a big click before the heater comes on, and for whatever reason it spooked Luna. It didn't spook Grizzer because he wasn't in there, but when Luna was in after the separation of the pack, in August, she got spooked, and now she's having a real hard time, trusting the building and coming in. So this is a long process for us to try to get her to come in. You see the difference between Grizzer coming in very relaxed, Luna still very, very uneasy. So during the medical exam, the pups will be in here, but in the upcoming weeks, as we do a medical exam, Luna and Grizzer both will be recovering within the Wolf Care Center. So that's part of it, and that's certainly something that we can work on. Everything's kind of done on the wolves' terms, so nothing is critical that it has to be done and force a wolf into doing anything. So we are in the springtime mode here, up in the upper enclosure. And we have a chainsaw crew coming in. The Vermilion Fire class will come in and cut some of the trees that have fallen down, branches that have fallen down, get some of the hazard trees removed, and give the wolves an opportunity to have a little more access to the upper part of the enclosure where they're not tripping. And here's Aiden doing an ambush to Denali. Of course, it's hard to ambush when you got a puppy who comes and gives it away. Axel walking up there towards Denali, but those kind of things are important to have that ability to run and to chase in the upper enclosure. And certainly we don't want to have a situation where there's a lot of debris that they could impale themselves. Obviously, some of these branches are, especially balsam trees, have a very sharp branch pattern when they die, and so we always clean it up, and we clean it up for fires as well. So we'll be doing that in the upcoming weeks. The Working for Wolves crew, don't worry, we have plenty to do. If you were worried that you saw all that straw being removed, we have more straw. We won't have a lot. Actually, we're going to get a lot of it out of there, but we're going to be installing pumps. We're going to try a commercial mister system to help keep the wolves cool, and maybe towards the front of the exhibit. And we're going to also plant some more trees and do some more protective covers for the wintertime and try to keep everybody occupied. So again, here's Denali getting a little bit of harassment. Notice the pups are, especially Grayson, he's definitely focused on Denali. A lot of fall anxiety from Grayson seems to be coming out in the form of dominance, and it's really present when Aiden's active there. So that's it for this week. And again, we'll give you reports on how the medical exams go next week. So thanks for watching.